Good Saturday morning, everyone. Gene Daddy here, and we're talking about the Tara Reade interview with Megyn Kelly that happened yesterday on the 8th. And as we know, Joe Biden's reputation precedes him. His touchy-feely, hair-sniffing memes, are the stuff of legends and, are the gift that keep on giving. So in the interview, yesterday, Megyn Kelly interviewed Tara Reade, and Tara Reade spoke about how she worked with the staff. She was a staff member with Joe Biden back in 1993, and she described some of the touchy-feely situations that she had to experience. Many times he would come up to her, and instead of just saying hello, he wouldn't speak. He would touch, touching her shoulder. One time she described how he, touched the under her hair in the back and was massaging her neck. And she did say that this made her feel uncomfortable. Moving along in her story, she recounted how there was one reception, I suppose, for dignitaries, where Joe Biden wanted to place her as the drink girl at this reception with dignitaries because, quote unquote, she was good looking. Now, when you look at pictures of Tara Reade, she was a stunner. She was a good-looking woman, beautiful eyes, beautiful lips. But in my humble opinion, she has not aged too well. I'll just leave that there. Now, because of her past experience with Joe Biden, she said in the interview that she did not feel comfortable doing that assignment as the drink girl at the reception. And one of Joe Biden's staff members, Mary Ann Baker, who is now retired, essentially pulled her aside and said, you got to go along to get along. If you want to make it in this business, you have to know how to get along or play the game, as it were. Two of the other significant members of Joe Biden's staff or cabinet were a Ted Kaufman and Dennis Toner, whose names will come up later. Now, moving along forward, she recounts the actual incident, right, where that has created all this firestorm. And apparently Joe was leaving town, but he had left behind a bag, and Marianne Baker had given her this gym bag, Tara Reade, the gym bag, she said, hey, Joe's about to leave, run down the hall and give this bag to him. So she said when Tara Reade said that when she got into the hallway that Biden was speaking to someone, and that person who he was speaking to went off in one direction, the opposite direction, and she approached him from the other direction. And she said at that point was when Joe grabbed her, put her against the wall. She said that he might have had his hand on her breast, and that he reached up, she was wearing a skirt, reached up under her skirt and essentially violated her hoo-ha area, that he kicked her legs apart with his knee to get in there. And he was in a low voice mumbling things like, that he wanted to fornicate with her. Do you want to go somewhere? And when she resisted, he said, I thought you liked me. But he tried to kiss her. She resisted. And that was when he made the statement to her, according to her, that he said, you're nothing, or you're nothing to me, or you're a nobody, or something to that effect. Now, she claims after that she did call her mother and tell her what had happened. And that was when we saw on Larry King, the episode of Larry King that has been conveniently attempted to be buried by CNN in their video archives, where Larry King takes the call from a woman who says that her daughter is having an issue with a prominent senator. And so that was back then. So it's not one of those cases where, well, why did she wait, 37 years to come out with the story? Well, apparently there is a track record of her telling people what happened. For example, there's a woman named Karen, who only goes by the name of Karen, who worked for Ted Kennedy in Ted Kennedy's office. She told her, and this woman also corroborated her story, saying that it has been consistent since she told her. And also, 2 years after the incident, she relayed the story to a woman by the name of Linda Lacasse, who has also corroborated the story, right? And I have some information about them later on as well. Now, update to 2019, and she mentioned a Nevada politician by the name of Lucy Flores, who has also made an accusation against Joe. Now, back in that time in '93, she felt that she was fired out of retaliation by Ted Kaufman, who was on Biden's staff. She doesn't know if Joe knew about it directly or if he had a hand in it directly, but she knows that she was fired because of her complaining about the harassment. Now, in 2019, Tara Reade spoke out against the harassment, but did not necessarily describe the assault. She didn't describe the assault until December, was when she told the whole story. And the response, of course, was that that this was all of a sudden political. It was untimely and political, and that she was a Russian bot, because of the fact they had evidence that she spoke so highly of Putin. She was speaking highly of Putin, saying that he was sexy both in and out of a shirt, right? Which is kind of an odd saying. And she responded by saying that she doesn't like xenophobia, and she didn't like how Russia was being maligned, I suppose, during the time of the collusion incident. She claims herself to be a Bernie girl now, and she was a lifelong Democrat, but now she feels as though she's politically homeless because of the treatment that she has received because of coming forward. It has also been brought up that she has praised Biden in the past, but her response was that because he was side by side with Obama when Obama was running president, and she liked what Obama was standing for. And this woman is obviously a liberal. She, admittedly progressive and so forth. And now, coming up to recently, she sent out a tweet before the Sanders debate, because they were accusing her about the timing of this. And on March 3rd, 2020, before the debate, she sent out a tweet saying, "Yep, timing. Wait for it. Tick-tock." Okay? And she said she sent out the tweet because now at this time she had a lawyer. Because previously, she tried to go to all the liberal media outlets, NPR, PBS, CBS, and a few others, and none of them wanted her story. So now that she has a lawyer, I believe she has also filed official charges. Her story's out there. Now, as a result of her going public and the other two corroborating her story, the woman named Karen and the Linda Lacoste, her social media has been hacked, her bank records exposed, that, she's basically been doxxed, as I guess they call it. The other two women have been harassed. Tara Reade has received life threats against her life. She's received no acknowledgement from the MeToo movement, as I've said in other videos, and as you can see in the media, there's hardly any coverage at all. No Time's Up representation, which I'm not sure if they provide legal representation, which is why she got a lawyer. And Megyn Kelly, proceeded with the interview and asked her, "Do you believe all women?" Right? She did not answer definitively, but she interestingly called Blasey Ford, because her case is being compared to Blasey Ford, a survivor. Which is curious to me, because what is she a survivor of? Is there any proof of her being of actually being raped or anything like that? So why is she calling her a survivor? So implicitly, she might very well believe all women. She was also asked, is Biden allowed due process? There was no yes or no answer to that. Her take was that he needs to take responsibility, quote unquote. He needs to take responsibility. She also said that she would submit to a polygraph, and that she said that, well, Blasey Ford was under oath, and she said, I'll go under oath, but she also emphasized that she is not a criminal. Why should she have to go under a polygraph? She's not the criminal, right? Now, Ted Kaufman and Dennis Toner still work for Joe Biden and deny her story, her claims of harassment or anything, right? And she also mentioned, as has been brought out, that there are only a few who actually believe her, quote unquote, believe her, but they're still going to vote for Joe Biden, right? Because as we know, orange man bad. Trump, and this is the other part. This is where Trump trumps everything. That despite the fact that there's this accusation, The left is trying to hide it. Trump wins and defeats even the Me Too movement. They are eating their own, and this is what it's come to. He is able to defeat the Me Too movement because they are willing to essentially throw this woman under the bus for the sake of the promotion of Joe Biden for president of the United States. So Trump just keeps on winning. I mean, sometimes without even trying, so that is the story with that. This woman has been harassed by her own, to the point that she even feels, as she said in the interview, politically homeless because she has been abandoned by the left that she has revered for so long. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. Tell me what your thoughts are. Of course, leave your comments below in the comment section mosh pit. Like and subscribe. And I'm Gene Daddy, and I am out.